Hey lovelies, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Susie Bella. Thanks for tuning in. Today's video is going to be my birth story vlog. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Remember, if you do, like, subscribe, hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and let's get this one going. Hey lovelies, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, hi, I am Sarah, aka Susie Bella. I have 4 gorgeous kids who are Stan age 11, Ava age 7, Sky age 3, and a newborn baby girl who today is 6 weeks old. This video is going to be my birth vlog video. My channel is full of fashion hauls, food hauls, lifestyle hauls, a whole pregnancy section which has got things with all the different trimesters, food I was eating, different symptoms, pregnancy must-haves, and then I also have Poundland haul. I have a bit of everything on my channel, so hopefully you'll find something that you like, and if you do, thumbs up and subscribe. So today is going to be my birth vlog video. I have got both Sky and Violet in the room with me. Violet is sleeping at the moment, but I know I'm going to have to stop this video several times because I know one is going to need me. So if you hear thumping or anything, Sky is currently drawing and playing with her picnic set, which has got like plates and spoons and things in it. So she's probably going to pop on the couch a few times to say hello. And Violet is sleeping at the moment. See, she's coming in right now. And then my eldest 2 are in school at the moment, so I thought I really want to do this video. I haven't done it for like a week now when I was planning to do it, something always came up, so I thought, okay, I'm going to do it today. So let's jump into it. My birth vlog, I think it needs to start while I was pregnant. So in my 2nd trimester, every time I saw the midwife and they would measure your belly, I started measuring a bit bigger than what I should have been. It was only by like a few weeks. I can't remember the exact week, but say I was like 20 weeks, I've been measuring like 23 weeks. I was always a few weeks over than what I should be. When she first started noticing it at my appointment, she said you should just sort of, it will even out, it's fine, it's just baby's growing well, and the longer your pregnancy goes on, it will probably just even itself out and everything will be measuring correctly. Got to the 3rd trimester and it wasn't measuring out and it wasn't evening out. She was still measuring a few weeks than what she should have been. The midwife still wasn't too concerned that I was measuring bigger, because the scans were all good. She had no abnormalities. She was all measured really well. So she didn't have any major concerns, but she said, you know what, you're better off just getting a scan done just to make sure, you know, everything's okay. You're not measuring too big and they can get like an accurate measurement of what the baby was. The first time she said that she wanted to do that, I don't know what happened, but the referral just didn't go through. And so she had to do it a 2nd time. And by the time she did it the 2nd time, I was like 36 weeks pregnant. So I was getting towards the end of my pregnancy. And she was warning me, they might not scan you. They might just want to either induce you or go and speak to a specialist who works in the hospital in the maternity section, a doctor who works in the maternity section. But they did see me. The appointment was actually really, really quick. When I went to go and get the scan done, they just basically measured the baby's head, measured the body, and they said the baby was currently at, so I think I was 37 weeks at this point, 37, 38. I think I was 37 and a half weeks pregnant. Yeah, and I was measuring 9 pounds. The baby was measuring 9 pounds inside me, and the guy who did the scan for me said it's not anything too major. Like the baby is not, it wouldn't be classified that the baby was measuring too big, but they didn't want me to go full term, and then the baby would end up being like a 10-pounder, and then it would be a bit too big. But at that current stage, being 9 pounds, they said, okay, you're better off speaking to your midwife and just discussing whether to, you know, get the baby out now rather than waiting to go to full term. At this point, I was getting quite scared because I thought, oh my god, how am I going to push out 9 pounds anyway? Because my kids come out like quite a good size. Stan was 7.5, Ava was 8, and Sky was 7.5. So, you know, pretty normal sized babies that weren't too big or too small. So I thought, oh my god, how am I going to get a 9-pound baby out of me? So yeah, I had my scan done. FYI, when you get a scan done just to check measurements, you can't. Well, at my hospital, I couldn't get a picture, a scan picture. I was like, yeah, can I get a scan picture done? They're like, no, you can't do it now because baby's too big. And if you wanted to get one, they'd literally have to put the thing they measure your that they put on your belly to see the baby. You'd have to go literally around to my bum to get a picture of the baby. And I was like, okay, don't worry about it. I just thought I'd ask. I never had a measurement scan done before to check the baby. So I think it was like 2 days after I went to go see the midwife again, and she already knew everything that was going on, and she was curious why the person that did the scan didn't refer me to see the doctor in the maternity section to discuss my options. And so she just sort of took over and discussed my options, and she said it was better off me being induced rather than waiting full term. The thought of being induced was really scaring me because I'd never been induced before. With all of my kids, so with Stan being my first, it all was natural, like the contractions, everything. The only thing I needed the assistance with is they broke my waters, and then he just came out by himself anyway. And then Ava was all natural, and Sky was all natural, no waters broke or anything like that, all natural deliveries. So I've never ever been induced before, and of course you hear all these scary stories about people being induced, and I thought, oh my god, I'm gonna be one of these people now that's gonna have a scary birth story. So I was really scared. She was trying to reassure me, isn't it, Bobby? She was trying to reassure me that because I had 3 kids before, she didn't think being induced was going to be like a scary experience. She was like, you know, your body's done it all before. She told me when I go and get induced, she reckons they could have just, I've forgotten the name of the gel, but they put this gel inside of you, sorry, too much information, and it starts contractions off, and basically the gel starts the contractions off, and then the gel wears off, and then the contractions just keep going by themselves, or they can stop, and then they have to come up with other different kind of things they could do. So then I would put you on a drip, or they could put more gel in you, and then just see how it goes. She thought I'd be one of these people that could either get a I've forgotten what it's called now, give me a second, I don't want to say the wrong word. Not a smear test, what is it called? I had to pause the video then. I had a complete failure brain thinking, oh my god, what is it called? A sweep. She thought if I got a sweep done, then that would start things off. And at the actual appointment, when she was discussing my options, she did give me a sweep, because she thought, getting a sweep done is going to do the job, is going to get you going. And then if it didn't, they could have sweeped me again at the hospital, and she definitely think it would work and get things going. So she recommended that I was to be induced before my due date, and everything was safe, the baby would come out safe, and I would be okay, because her only concern was, because the baby was measuring big, that the head would come out, but the shoulders can get stuck. And I think the more she was talking, even though she was trying to say in a really reassuring, wow, you're going to be okay, I was really scared. I thought, how am I going to push this baby out? What if the shoulders get stuck? And then, of course, when I get told bad things, I start Googling things, and you really shouldn't Google things, because it just makes the situation so much worse, and you see horrible things online. I thought, it just made my anxiety go through the roof, basically. I thought, oh my god, the baby's going to get stuck, something's going to happen to me, something's going to happen to the baby, and it's just all going to go downhill. So I agreed to get the sweep done, which she did at my appointment, which was completely fine. I mean, I've had a sweep done with when I was pregnant with Sky at the hospital, and I did have a bit of a bad experience with that. But she reassured me that midwives were a lot nicer at doing sweeps, and it was a lot better than what my first sweep with Sky was. So I got my sweep done, and she booked me to get induced. So I got my sweep, and on the same day I had to get a coronavirus test done at the hospital. So I had to go and get that done, and then you had to wait 2 days after that for the results to come through, and then you'd be booked in to get your induction done. My due date was on the Saturday, and my induction was booked on the Thursday. So I thought it was a bit close to my due date anyway, thinking they want her to come out before a due date, but it's only 2 days before. So I reckon if I didn't get induced, she would have come out by herself anyway, because my kids have come out all near their due date. But I'll never know now. And yeah, so I got my sweep done, got my coronavirus test done, and I got the induction booked for the Thursday as well. So you can imagine, from getting my coronavirus test to waiting for my induction, I was just terrified now, thinking baby was going to get stuck and something was going to happen, and I was just complaining to my partner for the whole time until then, thinking something was going to happen. I kept saying to him, if something happens, you know, yes, it's your medal. Did you break your medal? Do you want me to put it on? I'm going to put a medal on. It's guy number 1. It's guy's number 1. I have to tie it up like this. There you go. Guy's number 1. Yeah. Yeah, so I thought something was going to happen to me, and I kept saying to my partner, something's going to happen to me. Make sure you're with the kids, make sure they're okay. And yeah, I was just completely terrified of the whole situation. Yeah, so going to go and get my induction done. It was booked for early in the morning, so I had to get there for, I think it was 7:30, as it was like going to be a whole day, maybe a week. I think I had no idea how long they took. I've asked several people how long inductions can take, and some are like a day, some a few days, and some like a really, really long time. So I got to the hospital at 7 or 7:30 in the morning, got checked in, got put in the induction bit in the hospital, people getting induced, shown to my bed. I thought it was just going to be a room to myself, by the way, and it wasn't. It was like it looked like a ward with all different beds. So got put in the induction ward. It was just me and another woman in there, but I don't think she was being induced. Just a feeling, because they were making her go for scans and things like that. So I don't know if they use that ward for something else as well. Yeah, so I got booked in. She told me exactly what was going to happen. So basically, you go in there, they monitor baby on the machine for half an hour just to make sure baby's okay, baby's doing well, and listen to the heartbeat. Then they would examine me, and then they'd basically start the whole procedure off. So in my case, they did another sweep, left me for a little bit. It wasn't doing anything. Then they decided to use the gel. It begins with P. I've completely forgotten what it's called. But it's this gel, and they put it right behind your cervix, and it starts contractions off, basically. And they just told me to, when they had put the gel in, just to, sit down for a little bit, but then just keep moving around. You don't have to stay to the bed. You can leave the ward, go walk around. So, but they'd come and take my temperature, listen to baby and everything every hour, I think it was. So for every hour, I'd have to come back and do that. But I was going off then just to walk around, just to try and speed things up a bit. It was a very uncomfortable sort of experience doing that. And I was completely terrified the whole time. Every time they wanted to examine me or anything like that, I was just like, I'm gonna, just prepare yourself, I'm gonna have tears. Like, I'm not very good when it comes to doing examinations or anything like that. I'm okay with labour and birth, and because I've done it before, and I know what to expect, but because I've never been induced before, I've never had this gel or anything, I was just terrified the whole time. And my partner could see as well, holding my hand the whole time, and when they were doing putting the gel in me, I was just squeezing his hand, and he told me after, you squeezed my hand so hard, like it hurt that much. So it was just so uncomfortable, and it was horrible. And thinking back on it now, it wasn't that bad. I think I more overthinked it and knew if I did that, I would think it's a lot worse than what it was. But, so, going off track, had the gel, had my first examination, baby was okay, baby was doing really, really well. Before I did actually get the gel put in me, they were saying, have you had any sort of contractions or anything like that? And for the past couple of days before, I was getting these slight twinges. I mean, through the whole of my 3rd trimester, I was getting breast and hips all the time. I really thought she was going to come early. Like, I had this gut feeling. I told my midwife as well, at 35 weeks, she's going to come early, she's going to come now, I can just feel it. And midwife was saying, yeah, you know, you never know, it can happen, so, you know, don't rule it out. But she didn't obviously come at 35 weeks. But yeah, I had breast and hips through the whole of the 3rd trimester. And for the last couple of days before my induction date, I was getting slight contractions. Sorry, Sky's doing these weird things. She likes doing roly-polies at the moment. She's making me jump every time she does it. Yeah, so I was getting contractions, like, but not consistent ones, to say, oh yeah, I'm going into labour, but I could feel it every night. I could feel it, and then it would just wear off, and I thought, okay, tonight's the night it's going to happen, and then it didn't happen. So yeah, I told her that, and she goes, you never know, then this could just make it happen straight away. So yeah, then I had the gel, had my first walk around, didn't really feel much. I think it was after the 3rd walk around, after getting my everything checked again, baby and me. Please don't trip on it, Sky. Yeah, I'm going off chat. It's what happens when you have kids in the room. After getting my 3rd check done, the contractions were starting now. And I told them, and they said to me, okay, next time you have one, tell us, and we want to feel your tummy. I kept getting them, but I kept they didn't come to my bed in time for them to feel it, because obviously it wasn't lasting for that long. It was maybe like 5 to 7 seconds tops. But then they did. They finally caught it, and they're like, yeah, your tummy's getting really, really tight. This is definitely happening. And it just progressed from there. The contractions were starting. They were getting stronger, and things were getting really, really quick, really fast. And I thought, oh my God, this is actually happening. I'm getting really, really scared now. The moment I wanted it to happen for so long, and then when it was actually happening, I was thinking, I don't want it anymore. You can stop for a little bit. But yeah, it was just progressing really, really quick. The contractions were coming harder and harder, and they said to me, you're doing really, really well. This is exactly how an induction is supposed to go. Like, this is the best way an induction can go. Coming in, getting your checks done, getting the gel, and bang, it starts it off, and the gel wears off, and the contractions keep going by themselves. So in that sense, I was glad, like, it was happening, and things were going in the right direction. But then I knew a baby was coming out, and I was getting really scared. I don't know why I get scared, because obviously I've done it before, but I get scared. I don't cry or anything like that. I just get scared and hold it all in. So once the contractions were really, really kicking off, they got me a wheelchair, and they were like, okay, you're going to get wheelchaired into the main labour ward now. I really, really liked the midwife I had who did my induction, and I liked they had a trainee midwife in house one. She was really good as well. They made me feel like I wasn't being silly. You know, if I was going to cry, I could cry, and they were just really, really supportive and really, really lovely. And yeah, absolutely amazing first start to my labour journey. So I got passed over to the midwife who was going to be the midwife now for when I was giving birth. She was also really, really lovely as well. Before I go into it, through the whole experience, she was just absolutely amazing. So yeah, I got wheelchaired into the main part, and they basically asked me, you know, this is your birth, we'll do what you want to do, like, you don't have to be strapped to the bed, you can walk around. And I was like, yeah, I hate being on the bed. I just want to be able to walk around, do my own thing, and just let things, you know, do what it needs to do. Sorry, I'm trying to burp the baby now. Yes. So they put me on the monitor again so they could listen to the heartbeat, and everything was going really, really well. But the baby was moving quite a lot now, so they couldn't put the thing on for long. They had to keep rearranging it, the monitor thing. I thought, you know what, I should really learn what the words are before I do this video. But first I went on the ball, just to bounce from the ball. It was really, really comfortable at first, but I think the more the contractions kept going on, the more I was getting really, really uncomfortable. And when I said I didn't want to be put on the bed the whole time, I actually just wanted to be on the bed the whole time. I moved around so much in the induction part. I felt like I moved enough for the baby to be coming soon. But they did tell me to try and keep moving, if it was just up and down the room or to the toilet. Just try and keep moving, you know, get this baby out. Which I did do for a little while, but I'm not going to lie, I just wanted to stay on the bed. So I tried everything in my power just to ignore them and stay on the bed. I was just in pain. Like, I don't cry when I'm in pain. I don't make any sort of gesture to let you know I'm in pain. I just sort of lie there and I'm quiet. My partner knows when I'm in pain, like, this is, you know, it's happening now. Just leave her to it. She knows what she's doing. Yeah, so the contractions were getting worse. They asked me if I wanted any pain relief. I've never had pain relief before, ever, which I know some people think I'm crazy for not doing it, but I've never wanted gas in it because I don't like the feeling of being out of it. I've never wanted an epidural. Just the thought of doing it just terrifies me. And yeah, that's the only things that have ever been offered before was an epidural and gassinet. This time round, I don't know if it was the induction, but I just felt like the pain was 1,000 times worse this time, and this time I wanted to cry. Like, it was a struggle to hold it in. So I tried gassinet. I tried it for a minute, and it made me feel so sick. I mean, I normally feel sick with contractions anyway, but I don't know what it was, but it made me feel so much worse. And I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. I've tried it and I'm not doing it. And now I know 100% I don't like gas in it. I don't know how people do it, but it made me feel really sick. But when she did offer me gas, and I said I didn't like it because I didn't like the thought of being out of it. She said that it's the more you take it, the more you start to feel a bit like, I think she used the word drunk. You feel a bit drunk, you feel a bit... No, don't shut up, Papa. Sit down. Yeah, you just feel a bit more out of it the more you take it. So yeah, gas and air was not for me. Tried it, been there, done that. It's definitely not for me. And then I started humouring the idea of getting an epidural because I was in that much pain. I said to her, you know, if I get an epidural done, can I still feel my legs? I was getting... Because I heard stories before that you just go completely numb and you can't feel your legs. That would make me feel really anxious if I couldn't feel my legs. So I just wanted to ask before humouring the idea of getting one done. And she basically said that you still can feel it when you first get it done, but it's the more top-ups you do, the more you start to not be able to feel your legs, or, you know, and then you can't move off the bed. But she did say to me, you're so far along with the labour, she thinks the baby's going to be here within the next like 10 minutes. There was no point getting an epidural done, but if I wanted to get it done, I could get it done. I know deep down I didn't want to get it done. I told my partner, every time I go into labour, I did it with Ava and Sky as well, I literally beg for an epidural because I'm in that much pain. But he knows I don't want it, so he'll be like, you know what, Sarah, you don't need it. You've got this. You're going to do it. So forth. I knew I didn't want one done, but I just wanted to know I had the option if I did actually want one done. But I knew deep down I didn't. She asked me if I wanted a leaflet just before I 100% agreeing to it if I was going to get one done. I was like, no. I just wanted to ask, just to know if I can get it. It's accessible to me. But I knew deep down I wouldn't want to do it. I'm glad I didn't do it as well. Obviously for some people it works, but I just get so scared that there's going to be some sort of, something's going to happen from me doing it and it wouldn't have been worth it. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't do it. When I wanted that, she basically said as well that, we're going to break your waters and that is going to speed this up, and she's going to, then I think the baby was going to come, sooner rather than later. I agreed to have my waters broken just because I wanted it to be over now. But she said I could wait if I wanted to, but I just got no, just get it out of the way, get my waters broken. And she broke my waters. which is probably gonna sound so gross, but it was just like the most nice feeling, like soothing feeling, because obviously it's all burning down there and horrible, you know, feeling anyway. The warm water was just, it was like 5 seconds of sort of relief, and it didn't sting, it wasn't burning, it was just okay. So I'm glad I got my one that was broke. Yeah, so I did that, and then it really started to kick in with the pain. I mean, I was just hanging onto the bed, whinging to myself now, like, I knew the baby was coming now. I could feel how low she was, and I kept asking, "Hey, when can I push?" And then before it was like, you'll just know when it's time to push. It's not time to push yet. I was like, no, it's time to push. I need to push. And she was like, no, you'll know. It's not. I know that you know that it's not time yet. And I was like, okay, I think I can, but I'll just listen for a little bit. And I didn't start pushing. I just thought, okay, she knows what she's talking about. Maybe I'm just being over the top because I'm in pain. It was actually coming towards the end of her shift, and the next lot of midwives were coming in, and they were doing all the paperwork and discussing what was going on. Right when they were just doing that, I screamed out, "I need to push," and I started just pushing. I could feel it. I had the sensation to push. I started pushing. They just literally threw the papers down, came rushing to me. I had these 4 midwives around me now. Her head came out like straight away, and then my anxiety started to kick in, thinking her shoulders were going to get stuck, and I was really scared, but I knew I had to keep pushing. She actually came out quite well. She didn't get stuck, you know, which I was absolutely thankful for. And her head came out really well as well. Her body just sort of flew out as well. She came out really well, and I was so happy. I've never cried when my babies come out. I'm obviously overjoyed, and I'm so happy they're here. And you know, I'm in my newborn bubble now. Like, the baby's here, I can have my cuddles, get my, you can do your skin to skin now. But this time I just cried. I was looking at my partner crying, like, oh my god, I've done it. Like, I never felt that relief before any other one. I think it was this time because I built it up so much in my head that it was going to be a really horrible experience, and something was going to go wrong, because something always goes wrong. Like, I knew it was going to go wrong, and to be honest, everything went completely fine. Like, I really did just overthink things, and it wasn't a bad experience at all. The induction went really well. Everything was supposed to happen happened, and the labour, of course, apart from the pain and all that, it went exactly how it was supposed to. Had the most amazing midwife through the whole experience, and still now I'm so thankful for them, and them, you know, just knowing what to do and how to speak to me and how to make me feel better, and just kept telling me to keep going, that I've got this, like, you know, that reassurance. It was really nice, and I think it made me think, yeah, I can do this, I've done it before, I'm gonna do it again. So yeah, the midwives were just absolutely amazing. So she came out, started crying. Partner didn't cry. He doesn't cry. Just, yeah, I've never ever seen him cry. But he could see in his face he was really happy, which was really lovely to see. And held her. Then I had my skin to skin, and I had that for so long as well. I don't think I had skin to skin for that long before. This time round though, I did have to get a drip put in my hand to help with the bleeding, because I had a heavy bleed when I gave birth to Sky. They were worried that it was going to happen again, and this drip basically was going to help my uterus contract back quicker. I was put on the drip. I think I was on it for at least 4 hours. Of the liquid took really long to get into my system, and yes, I got that whole time to have her on me and get that bonding time with Dad as well. And then yeah, it was really lovely. And I think the drip definitely worked as well. Though the bleeding, I remember it with Sky, it was quite bad, and it took a long time for the bleeding to calm down. But this time it was really good. The drip did amazing. So yeah, I had the drip. Dad, by the time the drip was coming towards the end, I got Dad to change her, put her in her first outfit, and then I got her put back on me with the first outfit. And then when the drip was done, before my drip was done, most favourite part, obviously apart from baby coming when in the hospital of labour, is getting my toast and tea. I love my toast and tea, my jam on toast and my tea, and my partner will get toast and coffee as well. And I just sit there eating my toast, looking at my newborn. It was just absolutely amazing. It's like one of my highlights of giving birth is my toast and tea. So after my toast and tea and admiring baby for ages, I jumped in the shower, washed my body, got changed, and then I got wheelchaired back into the main postnatal ward after you give birth. I really liked where my bed was as well, right by the window. So I don't like being by the door. I don't know, because it's like rushy out there, and then if a baby wakes up, then all the babies start. And where I was, it was really nice and compact, and just felt really like cozy, if you get what I mean. Yes, I got put there. Said bye to the midwives who helped me with my birth, and then I got transferred again to another midwife. I think I saw a few people the next day. It wasn't just like one person. I think it was like 3 people, including a doctor though, who obviously does the baby's checks the next day. Yeah, so partner stayed for a little bit. At this time, oh my god, I completely forgot. So she was born at 8:13 at night, and she weighed 9.4 pounds. I should have mentioned that when she came out. Yeah, so that's how big she was. So she only put on 4 extra pounds. No, she didn't weigh that much more though than they thought, because they thought by the time she came out she would be 10 pounds, but she was like way under that, which I was really happy about. And my midwife also said, when they said that she could weigh that the scan doesn't necessarily mean that's definitely how much it's going to be. Sometimes it can be like a pound or 2 off. So she was 9.4, so she was under, which I was thankful for as well. Don't want like a really big baby. I was just terrified about pushing a massive baby out. But yeah, she was good size, and she didn't even look it as well. When she came out, I was thinking she looks exactly like my others. Like, she didn't look like she weighed that much. Yeah, so yeah, she didn't weigh. She was perfect size. She looked amazing to me. So beautiful. I was so happy, and so happy that it was over and I wasn't pregnant anymore, and I can now begin my journey of just, being a mum again. Back to what I was saying. Got put in the postnatal ward. Partner stayed for a little bit, but obviously he had to go back to the kids, because it was their auntie that was looking after them, and she was pregnant herself as well. And I felt so bad the whole time, her looking after the kids being pregnant. I mean, I knew how horrible it was to be pregnant and have 3 others to look after, so I can imagine how bad they were without me and dad here. But luckily she did have Stan to help her. Yeah, so dad went, I think he left about 2 in the morning, 1 or 2 in the morning, and then it was just me and baby, which was really lovely. She was such a good baby in the ward. All the babies were crying like one by one, but mine just didn't wake up. Like, she was really good. I did manage to sleep for like an hour, but I don't know what it is, I just couldn't sleep. I just wanted to hold her the whole time. And we started our feeding journey, so I am breastfeeding at the moment, but I am pumping as well, so dad can feed her. If you're wondering, I was feeding her a bottle before, that is pumped breast milk. But I am breastfeeding. She is 6 weeks now. We have been breastfeeding for 6 weeks, which I'm so proud of, because I didn't think we would do it for that long. It is really hard, but I've been absolutely loving it. She's latched on really well, and to be honest, I think she prefers it to formula, because she was combined feeding at first with breast and formula, but I do think she prefers breast milk. But I was told by a midwife that breast milk was sweeter, so maybe that's why. So next day, saw the doctor. She did all of her checks. She got her hearing checked. I got all my vitals, temperature, everything checked. Everything was really good. I was allowed to go home the same day. I went home, I think, in the afternoon / evening. I think it was probably about 5 o'clock that I went home. But I was more than happy to be there for the time I was. It was really nice to get that time with her, just me and her by ourselves, before I introduced her to Stan, Ava and Sky. It was just really lovely. It was so nice and just peaceful. I could just be with her. And yeah, we got that time before we went home to my crazy house. But I did miss my kids like mad as well, though I'm not going to lie. I was really happy to see them, and I think they were happy to see me as well. I did get a big cuddle from all of them, which was lovely. So I did get to go home. I went home at 5, came straight home, and yeah, kids really liked her. Stan just wanted to hold her straight away, and it was so lovely. He's so good with them, and each child I've had, he's just got better each time. Like now, he just wants to hold her, he wants to feed her. He doesn't want to change her bum yet. He hasn't got quite that far yet, but he does feed her and he does play with her, and it's just really lovely to have that 5 minutes to do something with my other girls. I know Stan will be okay with her. Like he loves being around her. And yeah, Ava was really good with her as well. I was worried about Ava because when I had Sky, she did not want to know Sky at all. She looked at her like, you know, who is this and when is she leaving sort of look. But with Violet, she didn't look at her at all. She stroked her face. She was really sweet with her. Sky, on the other hand, didn't want to be around her at the beginning, but the more she was around her, the more she started to grow on her. And now today she is really good with her as well. She'll come up to her, she'll cuddle her, and yeah, I think she knows it's her sister as well. So they're getting that bond in. They've all got their bond, all of my kids, which is really lovely. And yeah, I think that's going to be the end of my birth vlog. I probably did something out. I should have written this down before I did it, and I think I've gone a bit off track when speaking about it. But overall, to sum it up, I had an induction. Never had one before. I thought it was going to be the most scary experience in the world, and it ended up being one of my best births. Not definitely most painful, so not in that sense, but more having that control and knowing baby was coming. And loved my midwives, absolutely amazing. I loved the aftercare as well. It was just really nice experience to end this horrible pregnancy, because if you watched any of my pregnancy videos, you know it wasn't the best pregnancy, but definitely the birth just sort of made it a good end for me. And now she's here and she's doing really well. I will be having a month of Violet video up soon, as she is a month and a half now, so we are getting a bit off track. But yeah, she's doing really well. The when we came home and you're still signed to your midwife for the next 14 days, she was doing really well with them. Every time they came to weigh her, considering she was having mostly breast milk, some form of mostly breast, she was putting on weight really well, and they were really happy with her. The only issue that we did have is that she was a bit yellow, so she did have a bit of jaundice, but they said the more she drinks, the more she wheezes it out, it will just sort of flush itself out, which it did do in the end. It did take a while to come out, didn't it, Poppy? But she's no longer yellow, and she's not got jaundice anymore. Her weight is really good as well. She's put on weight really well. She's a really good baby. Her sleeping is not amazing, but she's a newborn baby. I'm used to no sleep anyway with Ava, but she's getting there. Last night she did sleep for a bit longer than she normally does. But I'm hoping it's not a one-off and it's just good things to come and she's gonna sleep. But she is doing really well. I'm so happy as well that she's here. She's definitely completed our little family. She's just slotted in so well with all of them. I always have worries because having 4 now, which is a lot of kids, and oh my god, to say as well I have 4 kids, which is crazy. I just get scared that I won't have enough time to split between them and trying to get that routine out. Don't get me wrong, she's 6 weeks now. I'm still working on routine and trying to make sure I'm keeping up with things, and it's hard, it's really hard. But we are getting there slowly, and I'm hoping it just gets better as we go along. But that is going to be the end of my birth vlog video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my pregnancy videos. I think I have got one more coming out of my bump and skincare of what I did use while pregnant. But that is going to be the end of all my pregnancy videos. I hope you did enjoy that section as well if you are pregnant, or just to have a look through if you've been pregnant before. I love looking at other mummy vloggers' pregnancy videos. It's just lovely to see, you know, what we've had similar, their experiences, my experience, so it's just really lovely to talk to other mummies about that. If you liked today's video, make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you in my next one, lovelies.